It's resolute, it's lasting, it's all Henry VIII's fault. Today we're drinking Dissolution IPA. Hi guys, it's Jim here from drtankenstein.com with another episode of Beers of the British Isles. On today's episode, we're drinking Dissolution IPA by Kirkstall Abbey. When I bought this beer, I bought the 500ml bottle you can see. I think it was about £1.80 from Morrisons. A can of equal size was £3. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I've got that wrong, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that I was about to buy the can and I saw the bottle, I went for the bottle. So £1.80, 500ml bottle, it's a dead 5%, so that's what I like. I like my beers about 5%. Good call on that one, Kirkstall Abbey. Now this is a classic IPA, which when you say it like that, it leads me to believe that it's English. However, if you look at the hop profile, it's got, and maybe this is just me that thinks this is weird, but it's got Columbus, Centennial, and Chinook. It's got 3 of the 4 C's. The 4th one is Cascade, which is a beautiful hop, super cheap and super popular. I just feel like Kirkstall Brewery, why didn't you just put Cascade in there and make it all 4 C's? But they didn't. Columbus, Centennial, Chinook, all 3 great hops. Powerhouse hops, very bittering hops, very like upper, 10% onwards hops. Alpha acids, that is, so quite bitter. They also have Eureka hop. Now that's not a hop I'm super familiar with, but I have heard of it before. Looking forward to finding out what that tastes like. The malt bill they keep quite close to the chest. It's just what they describe as an American amber malt profile, which again is very open. Amber is kind of, if it's amber malt, then it can actually end up being like quite a dark beer. But if it's an amber beer, then you're looking kind of, well, amber, I guess, kind of a very light brown color. You're looking at that. So American amber malt profile, no information on the yeast, no IBU information, but this is an American IPA, so it should be quite hop forward in the aroma. It should be quite crisp and bitter, not linger in the mouth too long, and it should be quite light in color. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one. Let's find out what it looks like. Okay, so we're in the glass, we're cold. Obviously, you've guessed the format by now. If it's blonde, pale, straw-colored, it's gonna be cold. If it's hop forward, it's cold. So let's have a look at the color. Now this glass is kind of frosted over because it's so cold. Yeah, that's a really nice color, very clear, which is nice to see. And yeah, so my fingers are kind of getting in the way here, but it's a lovely golden color. So for an IPA where you don't imagine that kind of residual sweetness from, say, crystal malt, you would imagine they can get away with it being a much paler color, which to me, I think in beer you can't really, well, to an extent you can't really taste color, but it's always nice to see something that's kind of this deep yellow to pale gold, which I seem to be saying an awful lot recently. Yeah, DL to pale gold. The head retention, when I poured it out, it was great. So I'm inclined to believe that it has good head retention. It's very well carbonated, as you can see that just looking at it, you can tell it's well carbonated. Hopefully not too much. It didn't gush or anything, so I think we're onto a winner here. Let's give it a sniff. Almost inhaled it, that's fine. So it's not super aromatic. The aroma that I have, I would say, is a slight, it's on the grassy side. So there's a grassy aroma with kind of subtropical, with a just slight tropical scent. So I can get a little bit of mango, but more kind of on the grapefruit side. Not citrus, but kind of strongly grapefruit. Okay, I'm thirsty, guys. I'm gonna dig in. Oh, okay. Now that's interesting. First thoughts are that it tastes much boozier than it is. It's 5%. It tastes like it should be about 7. It just has that kind of burning, almost phenolic character to it, if that makes sense. Yes, that's the first thing that hits you actually for me. After that, yeah, it's washed down with a nice bitterness, but I'm going to be honest, it's not too crisp. But it is kind of one after the other. So you get the booze, like I just said, then you get the bitterness, and then it's kind of all enveloped in like not a sweetness, and it's not bread. It has got like a subtle toast character to it. But I'm going to be honest, the hop character is largely quite grassy. And the more I drink of it, the more I can sense that I can taste the bitterness. So yeah, I'm obviously not going to guess what the IBUs are, but I'm assuming they're reasonable. It's just the first thing that hits you is the booze and the toastiness. I don't know, that's quite remarkable. Now the brewery that makes this, Kirkstall Brewery, they are very old. Like Kirkstall Brewery is an old brewery, but that's not in operation anymore. In fact, when I was kind of doing a bit of research for this video, if you search for Kirkstall Brewery, you'll find that now it's a student accommodation. So there's just a load of students living in the old ancient Kirkstall Brewery, which the new guys, new Kirkstall Brewery, the guys who kind of took the torch and took the name forward, they've been going since 2012. And I'm honestly, I don't know much about them, but the beers that I've had of theirs are very good. They have rather than kind of all base in the brewery, they have a few pubs that they've opened up in Leeds and Bradford, kind of the surrounding area, similar to like the Thornbridge model, if you will. They have, however, just opened a tap room. The tap room opened, I think, in January 2020. And, I'm coming at you, we're recording this in April 2020 now. So I hope that tap room's doing well. I hope that they reopen, because I love to have a pint with them one day. How am I going to sum up this beer? How am I going to sum up Dissolution IPA by Kirkstall Brewery? It said that it's a classic IPA, and I don't disagree. First off, the colour is perfect. Very nice colour, exactly what I would expect. The aroma is kind of sweet. So the hops don't really come through that much in the aroma, except that it's a little on the grassy side. But it is kind of sweet, almost a toasty aroma. yeah, the flavour is just, the flavour is, it belies the strength. And I've never used the word belie before, so there we go. It tastes very boozy. It is bitter, but you only notice that it's bitter after the beer has gone, because the beer is so well balanced, I think. Like I said, the aroma is very toasty, and that carries through to the flavour as well. I think the hops, like I said, they used 3 of the 4 C's and Eureka. Now, I don't really know what Eureka is, but I'm guessing that Eureka here is the cherry on the cake, because I know what the 3 C's are. That is, it's just a little something extra. It's almost resinous, if that makes sense. It's almost sound like a martial arts moment. It's almost a feeling rather than a flavour. So yeah, this is a great beer. So what I'll say is, it is a classic IPA. In terms of, if you gave me that and said it was an English IPA, I would agree, but think that it was a little bit something else. This is a classic IPA in that it's very bitter and it's very hoppy, but there's something else going on here. There is something else going on, and I don't know what the malt bill is. American Amber, that's all the information I have, but it's really working hard in this beer. It's really doing a good job. I'm not going to rate it out of 10. What I'm going to say instead is that if this beer were a song, and this is big praise, it would be Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. Not only for the fact that Dissolution sounds like it should be a heavy metal song. Any song by Metallica sounds like it should be a heavy metal song just because it's by Metallica. Instead, what you get with Nothing Else Matters is a beautiful kind of interlacing of guitars and bass and vocals, and everything just sits right, and then all of a sudden there's that solo you're expecting. That's the same with this beer. Everything, as you first drink it, sits right in your mouth, and then all of a sudden afterwards there's that bitterness you're expecting. There's the straight up IPA after the art has gone. So guys, Morrisons, I got you some Morrisons, and grab yourself a Dissolution by Kirkstall Brewery. And if you like this beer, head down to your local bottle shop, your local independent craft beer seller, and ask them if they have anything similar. I'm sure they will, and I'm sure it'll be awesome. So in the meantime, guys, cheers.